am blessed to be African American. This is not about me being better than anyone. I'm not blessed because of what I'd rather be. I'm not blessed because I look to downplay other cultures, attempting to stand on top of them to make myself feel better. I'm simply blessed because I am what I am. I accept that. I am proud of that. And I seek every blessing from that, as you should too. I am blessed to be a part of the African diaspora. I'm blessed that my ancestors survived the transatlantic slave trade. They survived the toll of being African slaves whose labor built the Americas into a formidable power. They survived slavery, the nadir, lynchings, kidnappings, and Jim Crow, a capitalistic infrastructure that at every decade has found a new way to attempt to snuff them, us, out. My people not only survived, they blossomed into a new culture, a bounty of manifestations, the language, the food, the music, the beat, the heart. In context, there's always this fraught conversation about African Americans not being a real people or culture, that we are lost and somehow our cultural newness makes us less than. But the transatlantic slave trade was a vast system that not only brought kidnapped Africans to Americas as slaves, it disrupted a large swath of West into Central Africa. It shifted ethnic lines as people devised ways to simply survive, whether it's the towns around the slave castles where mulatto children of the European slave castle governors bled back into African societies, creating a new class, or as people were kidnapped from one region, repatriated to another, some making it back from the bonds of slavery in America to a new home on the coast of Africa. Others, born in a particular region, though they were at the time not of the same identity, coalesced more firmly into a singular ethnic identity so that they were better able to fight a war against the threat of the slave trade. All of that in consideration, so many were touched. And there's not any shame in the shift or the supposed newness of the African American identity. I'm blessed because I love the rich history and culture that I come from. You know, I especially love the food. Whether it's where the folks in the Chesapeake season and cracked their crabs, where Baltimore in the 1800s was home to the largest community of free blacks, or the rice and okra dishes of South Carolina, the Low Country, the Geechee, and the Gullah, the host of the largest population of slaves in America, a shining resilience of being bloody but unbowed, the distinct flavors of barbecue from Kentucky and Tennessee and Carolinas on down to Texas, the Creole and crawfish flavors of Louisiana. All our great grandmothers times 8 kept black-eyed peas in their bosom and crafted a new way to stew them, ham hock or turkey neck, on your choice. The music that manifested, banjos out of the memories of chorus, created the blues and escape into juke joints away from the racial terror raining down on an African American in the 1900s, shifted the drums of the Congo to blend into the sorrow of blues, bringing us jazz, the foundation on which a multitude of genres derive. And now we can look at the vast influence of hip hop. The historically black university and colleges, the HBCUs with the untouchable marching bands and majorettes, the black leadership it has spawned. That being the first of many, including presidents of African nations, the K's, the Deltas, the Zetas, and Zora, the Q's, the Sigmas, and even the Iotas. We were lynched, the horror of black bodies hanging from trees, and took the duplicity of that image, knowing the Son of God was hung on a stake for the crowd to look upon and turn to our faith. Jazz piano and Catholic masses of the Louisiana Bayou, the African Methodist Episcopal with the Zion or not, the gospel music brewing out of the belly of the Baptist, to the prostrating and Holy Spirit of the Pentecostal or the Kojic. Even in that, our prayer and calls to God are culturally unique. Family reunions and barbecues with potato salad that is unmatched, line dances, Frankie Beverly, Earth, Wind and Fire, and maize. I am blessed to be a part of a culture that has participated in a cultural exchange across the diaspora for centuries, sharing the fight towards liberation and civil rights and decolonization, the movement of black laborers throughout the Caribbean and eastern coast of the US, carrying their sounds and flavors that can be seen from jazz to hip hop, the activists, and again, the liberators. There is much to be proud of that stands on its own 2 feet, propping up the distinct culture of African Americans. It does not need to seek validation from others, nor does it need to belittle, because when you can see the blessings from within, you then can see the blessings in others. You understand how you are distinct and yet how you intersect, and how each culture of the African diaspora can be respected and celebrated for the heritage they each carry. I'm blessed to be African American. I'm blessed because I can't fit everything about my culture that is great into this video. It is a blessing to be a part of the community that I was born in. Let me know how you are blessed to be from your culture, and give us a thumbs up if you are proud of your culture. We got a culture. I don't know why people say African Americans don't have culture. We do. And now I want me some black eyed pea soup.